Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to our online Kashmir Cultural Heritage Awareness Series. Today is our 83rd series by Virendra Quazi joining us from New Jersey. As always, we begin with our prayer. Today is going to be by Ashok Subramaniam. Ashok ji is very well known to us and has appeared many times and is joining us at very early hours from the west coast of USA. We want to thank him for joining us very early. And sir, it's a privilege having you with us.
It's my privilege too. In fact, today I'm going to offer a prayer to Saraswati, a kriti written by Dikshidhar, Muthuswami Dikshidhar, on Kashmir Sharda. It's so befitting because recently the Sharda Pit was reconsecrated, and I feel happy to sing this. Kalavati Kamalasana Yuvati. Kalavati Kamalasana Yuvati, Kalavati Kamalasana Yuvati, Kalyanam Kalayatu Saraswati, Kalavati Kamalasana Yuvati. Bala bhala mantra narupini, bala bala mantra narupini, Bharati matrika sharirini, bala bala mantra narupini, Bharati Matrika Sharirini, Malali Vidarini, Vakwani, Madhukaraveni, Veena Pani, Kalavati Kamalasana Yuvati, Kalyanam Kalayatu Saraswati, Kalavati Kamalasana Yuvati. Sarajosna Shubrakara Sashivadana, Kashmira Vikara Sarajosna Shubrakara Sashivadana, Kashmira Vikara Varasharada Paragusadhara Varada Bhaya Pasha Pustakakara Varasharada Paragusadhara Varada Bhaya Pasha Pustakakara Surachita Padambuja Jomana Sweta Pangajasana Suradana Purari Guru Guga Hridaya Ranjani Murari Snushaka Niranjani Kalavati Kamalasana Yuvati, Kalavati Kamalasana Yuvati, Kalyanam Kalayatu Saraswati, Kalavati Kamalasana Yuvati. Gurubhyo Namaha.
Gurubhyo Namaha. That is very interesting, nice, and thank you so much. And very apt. Sir, I am seeing Ashok Subramaniam Pennathur. Sounds like our PS High School in Mylapore.
Yes, sir. Our Dayadis. In fact, I told you, right? My brother is the correspondent for PS Senior Secondary. And
there are a lot of people who are watching, PS alumni would be very interested in knowing about this. Very nice. Thank you so much. And sorry that it is too early for you. And
not at all, sir. Please. You keep me awake, which is good.
We will have you more in the coming months.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Please stay tuned.
Yeah.
We thank Sri Kanchimat for our ongoing Kashmir cultural heritage awareness and offer our namaskarams to His Holiness Sri Shankar Vijayendra Saraswati Swamigal. Kanchimat is always in the forefront, modestly working with the sole aim of national integration, spiritual enlightenment, and preserving the uniqueness of Kashmir, as Kashmir is our cultural heritage. Now, we are very pleased to welcome Sri Virendra Quazi. He has appeared twice in our program. Virendra ji, sometime in November 2021, right? It's going to be like 2 months, 2 years in about 3 months. He needs no introduction, but however, I will say this. Virendra Quazi is a new age spiritual leader and motivation guru who presents mystic knowledge in a simple and usable way. His approach is comprehensive and at total harmony with various cultures and people. He has worked on many projects for the revival of India's oriental glory and wisdom through Kashmir Saivism. Born in Kashmir, he graduated in natural sciences and later went on to do his master's in public administration. He has had successful leadership career, beginning in steel industry, starting from Hindustan Steel Limited. He has been constantly focusing on spiritual learning with the guidance of teachers and masters. Now, Virendra ji, I always hear you saying, awaken inner divinity and fulfill material and spiritual goals. So, with this brief intro, I would request you to give your experience. I know last time you spoke at length about your experience with His Holiness Paramacharya, how he picked you from a crowd. Maybe that will be very apt if you start with that. And then we'll go to questions. I already see a lot of questions coming up. The title, I think, is very apt, question answers. People would like to participate. I see several questions already posted. We'll go one by one. Before we go into that, let me ask you one more. Are you part of Prime Minister G's entourage? Were you also in White House?
ओम माया कुंडलनी क्रिया मधुमती काली कला मालिनी मातंगी विजया जया भगवती देवी शिवा शांभवी शक्ति शंकर वल्लभा त्रिनयना वाक वाक धनी भैरवी हीमकारी त्रिपुरी परा परमही माता कुमारी तसाई जय मां. My highest gratitude to His Holiness and Kanchi Mutt. You are really spearheading the Kashmiri cause. It's not easy to really follow, execute, but with your great, wonderful intention, many initiatives, some impact is getting created and it is getting known also. People really are feeling grateful to His Holiness and Kanchi Mutt for the wonderful work you are doing for a revival of Kashmiri cause, Kashmiri culture, Kashmiri spirituality, ritual, Jagnopavit, and many other things. Now, in fact, I had 2 days back a wonderful discussion with Ashok ji. In fact, what is Paramacharya? What is the role of Paramacharya? Sir, in Shaiva Agamas, we call it Tirva Shaktipat. When there's extreme grace of Lord Shiva, the human becomes almost like Shiva. So whatever he says, absolutely is what I will say, it has to come true. So that was when he called me from crowd. It was in Hospet, Karnataka. And then he did give blessings, come guidance, come love and affection, everything. And really I have experienced it. In fact, just now you asked me, how is your 10 days in America? I will say the grace of Paramacharya. I have just come, many response, many people are inviting me. In fact, 2 days back also I had invitation. Friday I have a program here. Then going to Irvine, I'll be speaking on Kashmir Saivism. It's a very big program lined up for me on Sunday. All it is a grace, Shakti path by masters like Paramacharya. Now, before I start, let me do one thing. Let me say pranam. Let me say pranam to Lord Shiva. I say pranam to Lord Shiva, who resides in all of you as your inner divinity. Please remember, whether you are feeling high, you are feeling low, happy, unhappy, in whatever condition you are in, the divine light is fully shining within you. Lord Shiva and Mata Parvati, they are fully manifest in you. To recognize that, to realize that, that is the goal of Kashmir Shaivism. In fact, it is a universal message, because I am very keen student of Ramana Maharishi, many masters. It is the same message, maybe in a little different way. This is the same message. So awaken your inner self. And for Ramana Maharshi, just in the morning I was reading that disciple, Guru, and Lord Shiva are one only. They are not different. They are one only. So this is the goal of Kashmir Shaivism. And my main focus is on the practical side, because it is based on voluminous granths, Shaiva Agamas, huge granth, Malini Tantra, this Tantra. But how common people life can be little better by adopting the basic message of Kashmir Shaivism. Do little learning and try to follow it up. Now, tell me, sir.
No, Virendraji, when you spoke almost 2 years ago, you touched upon practical aspects of Kashmiri Saivism, and you touched upon, I was just looking at my notes when you spoke. You talked about the principles, like you put it very subtly. You said principles of 3, 4, 5. I know today we are going to focus on question answers. So I feel it will be very relevant now that you are speaking from the US. You have more audience. I could see already questions are coming, and your flyer already hit some 300, 400. So there will be a lot of people watching this program. I would like you to focus on that also later on, if you can't cover that. Now, I'm going to start with the questions. And before that, just wanted to ask you, did you purposely avoid the question I asked you, if you are part of the delegation?
Sir, I will say yes, I am part of the delegation. Yesterday, I had many messages, live broadcast. I think yesterday, I'm US timing, I don't know Indian timing, that Modi ji addressed audience, and my lot of Kashmiri friends, they saw it, all YouTube's sharing messages and this thing live. So I will definitely feel myself part of.
I have to go and check all the photographs. I didn't see.
And it makes us all proud.
Very good.
Everything. Yes, it makes
we are very happy, and maybe Modi asked you to stay back and continue this.
Yes.
Now, we will start with one question. There are a lot of questions. We're going to do
or
this.
Should I first, if you want, should I continue with 3, 4, 5? I'll give, because next program, I would like to have a detailed address on that. That's a very important.
Sure. We'll fix the time for that. That's very detailed, and it's more into sadhanas. Now, let's start with the question. This question is from Revati Kasturi. She has been watching our program regularly, and I see a lot of people posting here. Welcome and namaste, Quazi sir. As a beginner, I want to know what's the essence of Kashmir Saivism, and also what are all the features. I think it's a very simple, straightforward question. Essence of Kashmiri Saivism.
So let me put in one line, lesson of Kashmir Shaivism. It is nothing. I call it theme of Kashmir Shaivism. I say, I am Shiva. I am Shiva is the theme of Kashmir Saivism. You have to go within and realize in sadhana that you are not away from Shiva. And once you know that I am Shiva, I'll tell you all the questions are answered. Many, many things, all doubts get cleared once we go little higher in the sadhana. The purpose is I am Shiva. Now, what are the basic features of that? As we say, it gives a great harmony in our material world, because all material world and spiritual world are one only. It is not separate. It teaches a great harmony in the material world, and at the same time, it will give you the highest techniques of divine realization. Highest techniques of divine realization, which are given in Shiv Sutra and Vijnana Bhairav. It's a very good question. Let me continue. This Kashmir Shaivism, spiritually, I'll say, Kashmir Shaivism spiritually empowers you. It makes you are your own guru. You are your own. You know what level of sadhana you have got. So he tells you, hey, look here, you are at this level. Now you have to progress, go higher level. And it totally tells you integration. You have not leave the earth. You have Maya is Shiv Mai. Maya is also created by Lord Shiva. So you have to live in the world. Live in the world and address all the worldly issues smilingly, charmingly, with courage, and be a wonderful seeker. So Kashmir Shaivism, it gives it is great respect to human life. It is beyond virtually gender. You are of any gender, caste, creed, culture. You are all part of Lord Shiva. So there is no discrimination that you are eligible or you are not eligible to enter the Kashmir Shaivism. So there are many features of Kashmir Shaivism.
Virendraji, you also touched upon now materialistic. This materialism is also part of all this, right? People say you are so materialistic. US, you must be seeing in the US, everything is so materialist. So that is also part of the harmony. Right?
Yes, sir.
We need to consider that too, right?
Yes, because I say Maya is Shiv Mai. Maya is the creation of Lord Shiva. Through Shakti, Lord Shiva creates Maya, the wheeling power. It creates a wheeling power, like all knowing to limited knowing, omnipresent to this present. Why? To enjoy the play of the world, so that Lord Shiva enjoys the play of the world. Lord Shiva enjoys this called Tirodan Kriya, wheeling, just to bless you only. The goal is to bless you only. When I will talk about Panchakrit, Lord creates you to bless you. Lord sustains you to bless you. Lord dissolves you, finishes you just to bless you again. Lord hides Tirodan Kriya just to bless you. Then Lord gives you Anugrah also, blessing also.
Now, there is one simple question here. It says, welcome Quazi sir to the program. Enlighten about Kashmir Saivism. I think he's just asking a broad.
Very good. Sir, of course, it's a longer thing. Broadly, I have classified, with a good question, I have broadly classified, in my previous lecture also you would have seen, Kashmir Shaivism, there are many categories, just 4 broad categories. 2 are localized, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. What we call it Shaiva Siddhantam is a Tamil Shaivism. It's also very old, ancient Shaivism, that based on the 9 Mars, 64 or 42 or 9 Mars saints, life of the saints. And it is also very close to Kashmir Shaivism. I will also tell you. It has got, we say, descent from Shiva to Jiva, 36 categories. The same is in Shaiva Siddhantam also. Only thing is, Shaiva Siddhantam is Pashu and Parameshwar, dualistic philosophy, while Kashmir Shaivism is strictly a monistic philosophy. Then we have a Veer Shaiva. Veer Shaiva was a King Baswanna reformist movement in Karnataka. It is its own specific principles. We call it Baswa's 6 Vachanas, that Lingodhar. It has also borrowed from Kashmir Shaivism, from Tantra Loka. So these are all localized Shaivism. And then basically Shaivism based on Vedanta, Advaita Shaivism. It is basically essence of Upanishads. Roots are in Upanishads. That Brahman, Jagat, Maya, its own. Then almost it has a lot of similarity. Kashmir Shaivism and this thing, same moksha, liberation, everything is the same. So basically it's a root from Upanishads. Now, the Kashmir Shaivism is the root from the Tantra. We call it Agamas. What is Agama? Is a revelation text between a discourse between Lord Shiva and the Parvati. So it is roots are based on the Agama Tantras. And as I mentioned, why we call it Kashmir Shaivism? In Granths, nowhere it is written Kashmir Shaivism. It is as the Trikdarshan, Pratibhigya Darshan. It was a Bengali gentleman, J.C. Chatterjee. He compiled all these sacred texts and he named it as Kashmir Shaivism. Now, worldwide, because it is very popular among foreigners also. So it has become, it's called Kashmir Shaivism. So I'll conclude it with one more line, very interesting line. This is start of Kashmir Shaivism. They say in Shiv Puran, in Bhagavad Gita, you know that when there is decline of Dharma, Lord Shiva comes as incarnation, wants to enlighten the people. So in the beginning of the Kal Yug, when Maya became the prominent, people misuse Dharma. So all saints went into hiding. They hid themselves. They say, we will not preach anything. Every preaching will get misused. Then Lord Shiva assumed the form of Shrikantanatha at Mount Kailash and initiated sage Durvasa in the Shaiva Agamas. So he's our main guru, Agama, this Durvasa Rishi. So Durvasa, then Shrikantanatha disappeared. Then, very interesting. I will not, it's a long discussion, but let me cut short. So sage Durvasa could not get a worthy disciple to teach Agamas. Then because it was Kali Yuga, he created mind-born son, Trambakanath, and initiated him in Shaiva Agamas. He also created a mind-born daughter. That female is also given equally importance. They call Trambakaditya, initiate in the cowl rituals. Then it was like a mind-born son tradition started, then like that ended with Sage Vasugupta. It's a long discussion.
Thank you, sir. There is another interesting question by Dr. Harini Srivatsa. Namaste, Kazi, sir. Please give some guidance how to follow or begin the practice. What are the essentials? I think she's asking for some messages for common people like us.
My humble request is kindly remember it, whatever I tell. Please do not forget after this lecture. So I say simple messages. We call it first charging with Shivahood, Shiv Samavesh. This will be a very useful for everybody. I say let humility, love, and compassion should be our nature. Please let it be a permanent quality. Even all great saints have emphasized on this humility, love, and compassion. It is a way to earn His grace. The grace of Lord Shiva will come to you, my dear friends, if you imbibe humility, love, and compassion. There are many, many examples. Discussion will become a little longer on humility, on everything. We can have in next session. I will wish to. I have always liked to expand it more and more so that people just remember this beauty of humility, love, and compassion. Even Swami Lakshmanji was mentioning in Tantra Loka. He says his Vidya Guru, his father was a great scholar and sadhak. He was sleeping. A thief came to his bedroom. He was shuffling with the books so that he may get some money or something. There was nothing he had. So he opened his eyes and said, "Oh, my dear son, your hands have got tired. Your arms are tired. Don't worry, I have 1 rupee in my pocket." The thief fell at his feet. He said, "I got God. I'll become your slave for the rest of my life." Remember, humility, love, and compassion should be your nature, because this is an important question. I want to give a guidance for that, at least whatever time is available. Humility, love, and compassion should be your nature. Secondly, please remember, have 100% faith in yourself. If you dare to have faith on yourself, you won't have faith in anybody. So I'll say don't listen to anybody. Listen to yourself only. What inspires you, that is the true knowledge. Have 100% faith in yourself. Secondly, I'll say agamas. We believe in bliss. Everything is created by Lord Shiva. Why to torture yourself? Love your inner child. I will say love yourself. Take care of your body. Become healthy. Don't ignore yourself. And third is very important. This question troubles us a lot. We are worried. What will happen tomorrow? I don't know. Uncertain. Day after tomorrow, God knows what will happen. I will say tomorrow will be wonderful. Day after tomorrow will be wonderful. Everything will be good once we trust Lord Shiva. Please trust Lord Shiva as a doer. I say Lord Shiva as a doer. Lord Shiva as a enjoyer. Go to any talk. Everything will be all right. There may be badha. There may be hurdles. Lord Shiva will take care of that. Hurdle will always be there. Remember, that's called the wheeling power of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva enjoys that also. Tirodhan Kriya. But everything will be taken smoothly. Have trust in Lord Shiva, everything will go smoothly. Then, if we are the doer, we'll only make a mess of things. So, these are basic two things. Then, what we do, let me complete this. I have a short syllabus, so learn only this much. Don't bother about many books and many things. No, no, only what is Paramashiva, the ultimate reality, how Shiva becomes Jiva, and how Jiva can become Shiva. They are very small teachings, and then we must always start the practice. Practice is the level of realization, as per Shiv Sutras, which we always eagerly teach. And you will have differently, quickly, spiritual orientation. You will enjoy life, you will enjoy company, you will be a better human being. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. No, the points that you mentioned, compassion, humility, love, inclusiveness, is also what we keep hearing from all these Kashmiri Pandits. It's all etched, I think, in your mind all the time.
It will automatically
This
come, sir. Love means inclusiveness. Because Lord Shiva is within me, Lord Shiva is within you. We are not different. We are all same.
very interesting. Now, another question we'll see. Swamiji, why people choose Kashmir Saivism over other spiritual philosophies and practices?
Okay, good question. Every question is welcome question. Sir, why people choose Kashmir Shaivism? I'll tell you. The truth is something slightly different. Let me come to the actually what is happening. Kashmir Shaivism, it is it was so long higher knowledge, higher wisdom. Special classes used to be conducted. I mean, common people would not be allowed also. The Swami Lakshmanju's Param Guru was Swami Ram. He was a Purohit. He was a serving priest. When he wanted to, he was inspired by somebody told him about Kashmir Shaivism. He went to a guru. They told him, "Sir, I want to learn. I have come to learn you. I think there are classes of Shiv Sutras. I want to learn." Said, "What Shiv Sutra classes? You are a priest. Go and do puja. You will not understand. You are not mentally equipped. You're only equipped in rituals. Just go if you be happy." He shooed him away. He went outside the class, and there was shoes. When near CD's old house, he was sitting on those shoes, and class was going on Shiv Sutras. He was listening, and in the middle, this teacher went out. Aptabji, his wife. He said, "Who is here? Oh, who is this behind the door?" He said, "Sir, I am here. You did not allow me to, so I was listening." He said, "What did you listen?" He picked up his hand. "Tell me in Shiv Sutras." He uttered verbatim. Then he said, "You have a grace of Lord Shiva. You are fit to be the scholar of this thing." In fact, this is this is bothering me. I am very much great passion about this. I want to spread Kashmir Shaivism to common people. This is, let me further clarify. It is a very important question. Why you choose over this thing? Tell you frankly, Kashmir Shaivism goes above religions. It enters into mysticism. I wish my audience some takes an interest a little bit. It makes you thoughtless, desireless. Then whatever path you follow, it is one and the same. You may follow Krishna, you may follow Shiva, Devi. It makes you spiritually highly enlightened, but you have to reach that level. You have to do so. You should have great inclination for that.
No, I think this is more like a follow-up question. I think you answered. What makes Kashmir Saivism unique and quintessence knowledge? I think this
We have
point
discussed
was
it.
yes. I'm just going through other questions. Anybody's enlighten about Kashmiri? Yeah, that point I think you covered. Um, Now, Kashmiri Saivism. No, you explain all that. Now, Vedanta. What's how do we compare these two? Similar things are there in Vedanta also, right? What you were telling about mainly in Kashmiri Saivism. Is there a distinction between these two?
Sir, we can do one thing. In our next program, let us have a big discussion on this. point.
Okay, more questions are coming now because we made it as a question.
I will give an elaborate, but just now I briefly touched about Vedanta and Kashmir Saivism, that it is based on Upanishads. Essence of Upanishad is Vedanta, and Kashmir Saivism is inspired by Tantra. But there's a great similarities. We believe in Punarjanam, Brahman, ultimate reality. Everything is there are great similarities. Only thing is, its root is from Tantra and root is from Upanishads. So it's very simple. That's why we say Tantra means totality, basically. Tantra means everything is Pratha bliss. We say Maya Shumai. When Vedanta says Maya is the bondage. Brahman Sat, Jagat Mithya. We say even Jagat also is creation of Lord Shiva. And that's why our sadhanas are there. This thing we'll have a big discussion on this. But essentially, it's a Tantra lineage, it is a Vedanta lineage.
Now, another question now. Please tell the meaning of Trika in Kashmir Saivism. Spandika. I think we've probably done some research on it.
Trika is a philosophy, basically. Trika is a three: Shiv, Shakti, and Nara. Why we essentially call it Trika? Basically, Shiv can go to Nara only through Shakti. Shiv is static, Shakti is dynamic. So Shiv has to take the route of Shakti to reach the Nara. And Nara also has go through Shiva, Shakti, go to Shiva. Shiv, Shakti, Naram, Trikam. So essentially that's why, but it is a three. Para, in knowledge, para, apra. And in Shaktis, Aghor, Gor, Aghori. Shaktis. That's why basically it's called Shiv Shakti and the bonded soul. And Shiv has to only go through Shakti to reach the Nara. And Nara also has to go through Shakti. In fact, Shiva does the play through only Shakti. Shakti, we call it Vimarshini Mata, the goddess of experience. It's only through Shakti that this whole manifestation takes place.
Now, I think you also mentioned about Durvasha. Now, what is the lineage of this from beginning in the Kali Yuga? How would you relate this from starting point?
Sir, Kali Yuga, we can go back to Satya Yuga also. The Swachand Bhairav, there's a wonderful picture. I will actually.
Yeah, I remember you shared last time.
Yes. Swachand Bhairav, 18 arms, riding on Rudra, having five heads, all tantras, every knowledge is revealed. But what again, just now mentioned, what happened in Kali Yuga, that Lord Shiva is merciful and all rituals were used for negative purposes. The Papa took priority over Punya, and seekers, saints got scared. They went into hiding. And Lord Shiva will not like people to go like that. So he assumed a form of Shrikantanatha as they initiated, says Durvasa, into Shaiva Agamas. And I will also tell you how you initiate it, people. Not by writing, not by lecture, not by this thing. It was at the level of Pashanti, at the mental level. Sisha will sit before Guru and Guru will initiate him, and 100% initiation was done. He will learn everything. And in fact, that is one of the top principle of 4, Para, Pashanti, Madhyama, Vaikari. That also a wonderful question of sadhana. And they say 15 masters were produced by mental level only. Starting with Trambaka, then Trambaka, this like that, Trambaka Ditya and others. And the 15th master was not able to produce a mind-born son. He was advised to marry. So then father, son, and one of the gurus, Sangam Ditya, he settled in Kashmir. I think he was beyond 15 masters, and his descendant was Acharya Somananda. That's how we know some teachers were then practicing in Kashmir. And it's a very wonderful thing about the lineage. Now, coming back to lineage, Sage Vasugupta was a Shaivite saint of 8th century in Kashmir, Srinagar proper. He was a very humble devotee of Lord Shiva. They say the administration, the rule of was in the Buddhist hands. But Nagbodhi, a Vajra Guru, was controlling this thing. Some people told Nagbodhi, sir, a great Shaivite, humble saint, very great. We are inspired by him. He had a great power. Said, Who can be better than me? I am the master. No, bring him to me. Virtually, he was invited, unpleasant invitation to Sage Vasgupta, to Nagbodhi, told him, and he was virtually insulted there. And disappointed, Sage Vasgupta with his devotees went back to his home. He was very sad. He said, "Oh Lord Shiva, did you not listen to me? Why did I go?" In the night, Lord Shiva came in dream, told Vasgupta, "Go to Mahadev mountain, find Shiv Sutras, and enlighten the world." That is the first Shiv Sutras, however, they were revealed. With his devotees, he goes to Mahadev mountain. They say, "Our mere touch," and the stone turned, and three Shiv Sutras were revealed. What are three Shiv Sutras? Shiv Sutras are three levels of awakening of God realization. It is a wonderful place. It is when we go to Kashmir, you must visit this place, Mahadev Mountain. It's called Dachigam Forest Reserve, very near Srinagar only. We have to take permission of Chief Minister's office to visit that. Most beautiful place. I can share a picture of that also, that stream where Shiv Sutras were revealed. And then, sir, then Soman, there was a great master, it was Acharya Utpal Dev. Acharya Utpal Dev was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. He wrote a proper philosophy called Pratibhigya Darshan, the doctrine of recognition, which is the proper philosophy of Kashmir Saivism. It was by Acharya Utpal Dev. So for my friends, I want them to share one thing. It's very how we learn. I have a habit, by the life of masters, we get some lessons. We learn the lessons by listening to the masters. They say the sage Utpal Deva was a humble saint. He teach this doctrine of recognition. He had a small group of devotees, and one of his devotees was his son. He said, "Sir, you are giving this, teaching us. Why don't you give us a proper guidance, proper philosophy?" Then he said, on a particular murta, he told, "Okay, I will give this." He mentioned Pratibhigya Karika. Then when he mentioned it, they said, "This is a path you have to follow." Then they say his students could follow zero. They could not understand anything. But out of respect, they just kept quiet. But one of the students was his own son. He got up. He said, "Sir, you have given us diamonds, but we are not mentally equipped to understand it. Sir, we don't follow it. Sir, be kind enough. Explain your own philosophy." He says, "No problem." Then on a particular day, he said, "I will explain it." Then he wrote Ishwara Pratibhigya Karika Vimarshini, the commentary on his own philosophy. So it was a big gathering. Now all gathering would expect the philosophy, Atman, existence of Atman, Buddhist doctrine, and technical knowledge. They'll say he'll talk of technicality only, but how did he address it? This is very important for my students. This Ishwara Pratibhigya Karika Vimarshini, he said, of course, going to Lord Ganesha. Then he said, "Katham chit maheshwari das bhavasya." I don't know how, without rise or reason or logic, Lord Shiva accepted me as his das, as his servant. So Kashmir Shaivism gives you highest devotion, highest humility, highest knowledge. All are at the top. He said, even with people expected, he will talk of logic and reasoning and something philosophy. He said, "I don't know how, Lord Shiva, I did not even deserve that to be, he accepted me as his servant, as his das. And because of the das bhavana, this knowledge has come to enlighten the world." So this is, I want to make my friends aware of this. Is highest knowledge, highest devotion, highest logic, everything is absolute humility. Secondly, sir, I want to quickly mention about Abhinav Gupta, masters. You are aware of Abhinav Gupta. I mean, one university can be opened on Abhinav Gupta. Spirituality, Nat Shastra, Rasa, Dhani Loka, Abhinav Bharti, everything is there. So this is also interesting for my friends. Sir, he said he went to many masters, try to learn everywhere. Anybody can teach him. He was very open for that. Then he said, "I met one master, Shambhunatha, Siddhanatha, Jagatudara." He said he can uplift the whole world. He said nothing, no use of all knowledge. All books are zero. His one look can transform you. They said that Shambhunatha was, his guru was from Sumriti Natha. He was from South India. He had come to North, settled that. Sumriti Natha was guru of this thing. So at highest level, books don't matter. And very important thing I want to share also, what we know of Abhinav Gupta. How was he? He was nice. He was playing on the Rudravina, then dance and best of incense were burning. And that description is by Madhuraja, Yogini Madhuraja. He was from Madurai. He traveled all the way from Madurai that time And he said, I went to be at the seat of above 50 years of age. He was that time. He went all the way to Kashmir. So this was a great connection between South and North, and to be at the feet of Abhinav Gupta. And what we know of Abhinav Gupta is only through because of Madhuraja. This also I want to share. And for all my friends, it's a concluding one tip I want to conclude. Abhinav Gupta's Shishya was Khem Raja. Khem Raja was a wonderful writer. He has translated many books. We know Shiv Suda's commentary by Khem Raja. We know it. They say he had one thing, he used to criticize his teachers. And Abhinav Gupta always tell him, don't criticize, be humble, be humble. They say, what was his quality to become so enlightened? He has one quality. Every morning, the moment he used to meet Abhinav Gupta, his Guru Abhinav Gupta, he would kiss the feet of Abhinav Gupta. We say Abhinav Gupta was Shiva incarnate. By this extreme act of humility, no knowledge, no badha, nothing could stop him. He would work wonders. This is a message for everybody, sir.
There is another interesting question here. She also regularly watches our program. Sita, I think she's joining from Coimbatore. Does Kashmir Saiva traditions have a brahmacharya or sannyasa padati? Traditions as in other Saiva traditions. I was going to actually ask something related to that, like ritualistic practices. I think she's referring to this. Do you in Kashmir Saiva traditions have this brahmacharya or sannyasa?
Very wonderful question.
Yes.
Shankarji, what is in your mind? I'm going to answer the question. What is anything you have in mind?
No, but I was going to ask you whether you didn't touch upon this ritualistic practices. In fact, one of our speakers didn't even like the word ritualistic. He said dharmic principles. So the dharmic principles are being forgotten slowly. So we have to restart. So that's what I was thinking, going to ask. But she's referring to a similar one, brahmacharya and san. There is no, like, you also have sannyas path, right, among Kashmiris.
We don't have sannyas path.
No, but
because
there are,
for the simple reason, where everything is Shiva, everything is divine, where we can go? Where we can go? And they were great masters. Some were brahmacharis. Swami Lakshmanji was a brahmachari.
yeah, that's what I was meaning. Yeah,
his guru was Mehta. Mehta was illiterate. He was a kaula master. He was a brahmachari. His great guru was Swami Ram. He was a miraculous person. He was married. Of course, he had married. Abhinav Gupta was a brahmachari. Acharya Utpal Dev was married person.
So there's no like this tradition of sannyasam.
There's no in Diksha, you have to live in the wherever you are in Grihasthaldi. They say everybody is my family, and this Swami Lakshmanji says his guru, who was also a brahmachari, he didn't, but he said all are my family. They're all Muslims. They to come with problems. He will cheer them up. Sir, this problem. Sir, that problem. Everybody will say, sir, this problem. Okay, God will take care of you.
No, for this Kashmiri Saivism practices, this continues in Kashmir. One can visit Kashmir and to learn all this more. Or now most of them are all migrated, moved out of Kashmir. So why this still has no roots now? You know, like people going to Himachal Pradesh or going to other places like that. Do we have such programs in Kashmir? This
Sir, there is an ashram of Swami Lakshmanji. And
yes.
during summer, it has a lot of crowd also. Some people, they have their experiences. And God willing, we all have a program in May and you will be coming with us to Kashmir. We will have meditation there also. We will organize the program also there. And among practitioners, of course, there are very few people in Kashmir also. One Mr. I don't know, I will request him to, request him to come on this program also, our program also.
No, that's very interesting.
Okay. It will be I will just, actually, I got the idea. I will request him, call him and tell him that let him be on the program. You can.
Yeah, we had a program on Swami Lakshmanju also in
yes.
in our series in the early stages. Yes.
In fact, his relative also I had requested him. He had come. He had come and given a program. What was his name? Anushil Munshi.
Munshi, yeah.
Anushil
Yeah.
Munshi, Dr. Anushil Munshi.
Yes, he was there in our
He
program.
was also having a program.
I guess most of the questions were covered. What I see here, that is quite interesting question and answer series. I think it's attracting more people to watch or ask questions.
Sir, I will support this feeling. My dear friends, I will say whether you are following Lord Krishna, Shakti, Devi, anything, any tradition of Shaiva Agama, Shaiva Siddhantam, Vedic Shaivism, kindly Kashmir Shaivism gives you a technique how to expedite the same thing. Do the same thing. What we said, dharmic traditions, follow same
Principles.
dharmic traditions. It will give you a technique. Basically, it is inspired by Shiv Sutras. Whether you are at the Kriya level, Anvopai level, whether you are Shaktopai, it will tell you, oh my dear spiritual friend, you are doing wonderful job. This is a little bit, just slight technique within the same system. It will give you you will get some divine experience. It is a technique, a catalyst in your own sadhana, whatever sadhana you are doing, sir. So
No,
that
like
is very
you
important.
say, Namah Shivaya, we have heard His Holiness always saying this whenever he talks of Anugrah Bhashanam, Namah Shivaya Varga, Nadantal Varga, Imai Purudum Ennenjil Ningadan Tal Varga. This, you know what you could
Can you
understand.
translate it, sir? Huh?
Yes, yes. What it says is, long live Namah Shivaya. You always say Namah Shivaya. Long live the holy feet of Lord.
Wow.
Long live the feet of him who does not move away from my mind even for a second. You are
Wonderful,
telling me.
wonderful, wonderful.
This is actually by Manika Vasigar, one of our four great Nayanmars. You touched upon that briefly.
Yes. Sir, I will let me support this last line. Who does not live for a minute? Eh? That is
Imai
that's
பொழுதும் எண்ணெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான்
last line.
தாழ்
Huh?
வாழ்க. Yes, that's the one.
So that is called Shambhava Kriya. When you are in the Shambhopai, God will not leave you, He will be with you only. So this is a wonderful opportunity in Kashmir Shaivism, in Shiv Sutras. We should do something more about it. It will practically, I can promise, I can guarantee, I have met those masters also, which God is always with them.
I could see more questions coming up now. I know some traditions, they have set certain conditions to be guru, like they have to be married or must be brahmachari. Like that, do we have Shankaracharya to guide us? I mean, she's just making a comment, I guess. Another one is, there is another question. Swamiji, what does Spandika means?
It's not Spandika.
I think
It
you
is
mentioned
Spand.
Spandika.
Spand. Spanda.
Spanda. Okay.
Spand. It's called we
Spand.
call it the doctrine of vibration.
Spand.
Doctrine of vibration. They say it's what is it that physics? Now what we are science is discovering. It's our sages had discovered earlier that everything is in motion. Is it not? Everything lies in motion. That is the thing. They say, as I said, Shiv is static, Shakti is dynamic. Shakti is always in the motion.
There is some question relating to this Shakti also, I saw. Yeah, this says, so you mean to say first pray to Shakti before Shiva?
Sir, we should pray as per Shiv Sutra, techniques of Shiv Sutra. And I'll say, as you said, Trikam, Shivam Shakti, Naram Trikam. Shiv will do everything through Shakti only. She is the Vimarshini Mata. And
there is another comment like efforts of MDS and Kanchi Math to propagate propagate the universal philosophy of Kashmir Saivism. Really appreciable. Thanks, Sri Virendra Quazi ji, for your efforts to promote this ancient wisdom
Sir,
tradition.
he is a very wonderful soul, Mr.
Oh,
Ganeshan.
oh, okay.
Wonderful soul. He's a good, all Trikala Sandhya, he's a very enlightened person. He is a
Trikala
spiritually
Sandhya.
evolved. And, he's in January taking us to Ramana Maharshi Ashram.
Oh,
He's our leader.
Tiruvannamalai.
We should cherish people like him. He's a wonderful soul, sir.
Now, I guess we have to conclude now.
So what
We
about
want to.
you don't want that another 3, 4, 5?
Yeah, I know.
You forgot.
3, 4, 5. That was a 1 hour session. Now, if we start with 3, 4, 5, you mentioned briefly about important aspects. You touched upon various stages: Anava, Maya. Then you also talked about the stages of Krit aspects of. I put down some points, but
Sir, I will not discuss. We'll keep it for next session. But I'll quickly say 3 malas are Anomala, Mayamala, and Karamal. Anomala is to Mayamal, Mayamal is extension is Karamal. And 4 stages in the manifesto of speech. It is must of Hindu spirituality, Hindu sadhana, Hindu, Jain, Buddhist sadhana. Call it Para, Pashanti, Madhyama, Vaikari. Vaikari is the external speech. What I talk is Vaikari. When I have mental ideas, I must do Saivism and this and that. That's called Madhyama, mental speech. Before mental speech is a vision, some great spiritual vision. That's called Pashanti. The beholding speech, the goal. And before Pashanti is the Para, the supreme speech, Para Devi, which everything comes from the Para only. Then, of course, I take 5, means creation, sustenance, dissolution, wheeling and revealing energy of Lord Shiva. He does this play always to see the play of the world. But of course, I will discuss it next time. I will not go more, but I will give something to little bit idea to think. My friends, just think like this. My friends, just imagine a 6-year-old child, 6-month-old child. It has started crawling. Now you will give him a toy. The child will look at the toy for 1 minute, throw away toy. There's something next. Yes, something for one minute, again dismiss it. Then he will crawl, go to a utensil, a chapel, anything. What child is playing with? He doesn't want toy. Child is playing with curiosity only. The goal of child is a curiosity. It has without any purpose. It has no goal. It is just for the sake of curiosity. Child only indulges in curiosity, which has no purpose. Similarly, a jiva is when sitting in the company of Lord Shiva, full of ananda. He is blessed with Lord Shiva. Then this, unfortunately, the jiva gets curiosity. Oh, what is outside Lord Shiva? I'm in total bliss, contented. But what is outside Lord Shiva? Let me have a look at that. Go outside Lord Shiva. That is the anomal. That is the first weakness. So this is the first curiosity. It's called anomal, the first impression. Then anomal leads to mayamal, limitations. In calm, krodh, lobh, ahankar is part of mayamal. When you want to express outside, it becomes karamal. So it's a very interesting guidance how to do it, which will be in our next session, sir.
Sure, the anomal is what you're talking about is ego,
Curiosity.
right? Curiosity.
Okay. Curiosity, without any purpose,
Now, I think she is saying Namaste to Swamiji. Thanks so much for the interaction. Om Namah Shivaya. And she's getting more questions. I think we'll continue this session. And you mentioned that next time we'll have spiritual life with Kashmir Saivism. Exploring spiritual life.
So that I want to practical. I'll focus on the practical side. Next time it will be little. Today was a general session. And you'll also a little bit, we'll have a focused, maybe take question in advance. I think they will, you will get question in advance. We'll have a next time focused on sadhana side.
So can we plan sometime end of July? I'll come up
but
with
I think, yes, I will note down, I'll keep the dates. Keep the dates only, this thing.
So I know you're going to be a very busy person and you probably have some duties.
Sir, everything is there. Sir, only again, a submission, beginning I said, for us, Lord Shiva has given us this life now. We have seen the world. Let us do the duties to do the seva to others, whatever form we can do. That should be our goal. That should be our purpose. Leave less to Lord Shiva. Don't become more complicated. Then what will happen is then that thing will happen. No. Let us do our seva to the Lord Shiva as directed by Lord Shiva.
We will continue our mission spreading the awareness as much as we can do.
So I'm grateful to all of you.
Jai Jai Shankara, Hara Hara Shankara. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you again. Namaskar ji. Okay, viewers, that was a very interesting session with Sri Virendra Quazi ji. He will enlighten again by end of July, and the topic could be something like spiritual life with Kashmiri Saivism, and there will be guidance and interaction. Till we meet again, we want to thank Kanchi Mat channels, YouTube, Facebook, Kanchi Kamakoti.tv channel, and not to forget our Dinamalar, which is giving a wide coverage of our Kashmiri program every week before we commence our program. So we want to thank every one of you, and our subscription also is touching close to 900. Hopefully we'll see 1,000 subscribers soon. We want to thank the VDSP for the coverage right from day one. Till we meet again by July 1st or 2nd week. Jai Jai Shankara, Hara Hara Shankara.